Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Mystical 3D. Today, we have a fascinating topic lined up for you, one that's at the core of 3D graphics, bump maps, normal maps, and displacement maps. We're going to dive deep into what they are, their history, and explore the pros and cons of each. So if you're a 3D enthusiast or just curious about these mapping techniques, stay tuned because this one's for you. First, let's start with the basics. What are bump maps, normal maps, and displacement maps? These are essential techniques used in 3D computer graphics to add depth and detail to 3D objects. Each serves a unique purpose in creating stunning visuals, but they work quite differently. Bump mapping is a technique in computer graphics to make a rendered surface look more realistic by simulating small displacements of the surface. However, unlike displacement mapping, the surface geometry is not modified. Instead, only the surface normal is altered, creating the illusion as if the surface had been displaced. In simpler terms, it enhances the visual appearance of textures on a flat surface by mimicking the effects of small bumps. Normal maps are a type of bump map. They are a special kind of texture that allows you to add surface details such as bumps and scratches to a model. These details catch the light as if they are represented by real geometry. In essence, normal maps enhance the way light interacts with a 3D model, adding finer details without modifying the actual geometry, offering a more realistic visual experience. Displacement mapping adds real surface detail to objects in three-dimensional scenes by using two-dimensional maps containing height data. This technique is versatile, as it can be used for generating large-scale objects like terrain and adding smaller-scale details such as bumps. Displacement mapping is commonly utilized in offline cinematic content creation packages to infuse intricate surface details. As graphics hardware capabilities advance, it is also used in real-time applications. Now let's travel back in time and explore the history of these mapping techniques and discover who invented them and when. James Blinn is a computer scientist and a pioneer in computer graphics. He introduced the concept of bump mapping in 1978. Normal mapping is a variation of bump mapping that was proposed by Krishnamurthy and Levoy in 1996 and popularized by John Carmack and Michael Obrich in the early 2000s, especially in the game Doom 3. Displacement mapping is another variation of bump mapping that was also introduced by James Blinn in 1978. However, Robert Cook further advanced these techniques by developing the concept of true displacement mapping, deforming the actual geometry of an object based on a grayscale image, resulting in a more accurate representation of surface details in 1984. Displacement mapping became more feasible and realistic with the development of hardware and software in the midst of the 2000s. Now, it's time for a mystical fact. The Blinn material in Maya is a tribute to James Blinn, a computer scientist who made significant contributions to the field of computer graphics. This naming is a lasting acknowledgement of his pioneering work and the enduring legacy he left on the world of 3D graphics. Before we continue our exploration, if you're finding this information fascinating and want more insights into the world of 3D graphics, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with our latest content and help our channel grow. Let's move on to the juicy part, the pros and cons. Bump maps have their strengths. They are lightweight, not significantly impacting rendering performance, and easy to implement for real-time applications. They excel at creating small, intricate details on surfaces. However, they are limited in creating true depth and tend to be less realistic compared to normal and displacement maps. Now let's talk about normal maps. They provide intricate details, making surfaces look highly realistic, and are versatile, widely used in the film and game industries. They can enhance the appearance of complex textures without adding geometry. On the downside, they are more resource-intensive and require high-quality assets for optimal results. Moving on to displacement maps, these alter the actual geometry, providing the most realistic depth. They are ideal for high-end applications like movies and architectural visualization, drastically improving the realism of animated characters and environments. However, they are heavier on system resources, potentially impacting performance, and require careful consideration to avoid excessive polygon counts. So, where are these maps used in the real world? Well, they're all over the place. Bump maps find their home in video games. Normal maps are prevalent in the film and gaming industry, making characters and environments come to life. Displacement maps are a game changer in the world of 3D modeling and animation used in movies, architectural visualization, and more. And there you have it, folks: bump maps, normal maps, and displacement maps. These mapping techniques have come a long way and play a crucial role in making our digital worlds look stunningly realistic. Before we wrap up, here's the bottom line: choose your map wisely depending on your project's requirements. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting content on Mystical 3D. Thanks for joining us today, and as always, stay creative.